Boom. All right. Let us get rocking and rolling this morning. I don't know if you guys have seen it all over the place, but there is just Dune Awakening all over my feeds across all the social channels. So I figured this morning I'm going to have a coffee, download Character Creator, and let's see what we got going on here. Character Creator and Benchmark. Nice. So we'll play around with that as well. Okay. No seizures, please. No seizures.
The only peace I find is a future that never happened. One where I, Paul Atreides, was never born. I created the future until it created me. But I see a narrow way, the path that might have been. What if my mother had obeyed her orders and given birth to a girl? Everything would change. Dr. Yue exposed before his betrayal. A world where my father lives. House Atreides surviving the Battle of Arrakeen. Sardaukar deployed to protect the spice melange. A war of assassins spreading across the planet. Fremen exterminated. No Muad'Dib. No Lisan al-Gaib. No Kwisatz Haderach. All of my visions lead to horror. Except for this one. This one leads to you.
Okay. Nice. Nice. I like where they're going with, then, what is this, a black screen? What's going on here? Am I frozen? I believe I may be frozen. There we go. All right. The first bug. Just straight on the Character Creator. Not even in the game yet. Piling 10,000 shaders. Wow, that was actually pretty quick. Good job. Very nice. I like that narrative. So I'm what I would call a casual Dune fan. You know, I've read the books. I have a good bit of the knowledge and the lore. But it's not as extensive as it is in, say, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Legend of the Five Rings or Wheel of Time or some of the other stuff that, you know, I am into quite a bit. Oh, that is not what I meant to do. What is going on here? Okay, I just want to turn that down just a little bit. There we go. That's going to reset every time. Okay, I will have to look at that in the future. So the general story is Paul Atreides, the guy who was speaking, becomes like a messiah for Dune, and then creates a massive change in the Empire. Lots of power shifts. There's a great series of novels on it. It's Dune, obviously. You also have the movies. The movies are okay. They're very beautiful, but if you really want to understand the story and a lot of the political intrigue and the characters, you're going to want to read the books. There's just so much more information packed in there. In the way that Frank Herbert writes, you know the thoughts of all the characters, and it's very interesting to see them play that out. Anyway, great story, and I like what they're doing here is taking that narrative and allowing us to play in the world of Dune with a different path. Something has changed, something dramatic changed, which is Paul was never born, which gives us a lot of freedom to run around in the Dune universe and make me the player, the hero of the story, and that's pretty cool. All right. This was a little Dune I made up earlier. I didn't make him quite a mentat, but I really like the melange. The melange is the spice, and what the spice does, it's basically gives you abilities or enhances your abilities, whether they're psychic, mental, physical. It also is so powerful that it allows for the folding of space, which is how space travel is done in this game. So spice is very important to the entire universe, because without it, there's no trade, no commerce, no movement. Everything goes back to slow warp drives and things like that. There's an incredible history to these stories. Definitely check them out. But one of the reason I bring that up, melange, people who use spice, their lips will be tainted, often with an orange, and they're on Arrakis, people that associate and breathe in the spice because it's everywhere in the planet, their eyes eventually turn blue on blue, which is a feature you'll notice in the movies, or also in the game as some of the options, which is pretty cool. All right, let's run the benchmark. Let's see how my system is going to do. It should do all right. I got a pretty nice system. Very happy with my system. I gotta change whatever that is. Oh, it must be my SD card. Is that a black screen? That is not what I want. There we go. Okay, now it's kicking in. Lots of black screens. I'm gonna have to work on that. It might be some of my settings. So this looks like the player housing from what I saw yesterday. Something that you can build. It's pretty awesome. I like the freedom that they have. It's from Funcom, who's done some pretty good games. I think Secret World back in the day, Conan Exiles, of course, which is absolutely one of the best survival type games. Yeah, I like the printers for items. Makes me think of a guy I know at work, previous work. What we got running through here? The ornithopter, very nice. Offline frames, 242. That sounds pretty nice. I wonder how that's going to get tanked going online. Bless the maker and his water, Kynes murmured. Bless the coming and going of him. May his passage cleanse the world. May he keep the world for his people. Is what, in the story, this is what the planetologist said as the passing of a great worm came by. It's a Fremen kind of prayer. Definitely some Harkonnen soldiers there. This will be the Harkonnen trading outpost. Nice, look at the variety of clothing. That's good. It's a really good sign. This variety of the outfits. Whether it's available to the player or not, we'll see. But it's good that it's in there in the game, and that not everybody looks like a carbon copy of every other NPC. That's pretty badass. Nice, nice. I like the very confident saunter there. How many sand crawlers, harvesters? Well, that went way too quick. Okay. Nice. Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. I can't remember the name for the worms. Okay. Alright, so it looks like I should do okay, performance-wise. Whether that's going to be just as nice. Okay. Wake the sleeper. Fantastic. Alright, so that was pretty. Let's hop in the character creator. Let's see what we got going on in there. play with some of the random presets, maybe just see what populates.
Approach, prisoner.
I like the way they did this character creation. So we know we're a prisoner and we're being summoned.
Show yourself, child.
So that's the Reverend Mother of the Bene Gesserit order. They're kind of like mysterious advisors. I would say extreme courtesans, as it may be, which is pretty badass. Again, read the books. The books are fantastic. The movies are great. You know, they're very beautiful. However, if you really want to understand the world, read the books. And again, I'm a casual Duner. I'm not I don't have everything memorized, you know, but I know enough about the world. I've read the books, and I have to say, I'm very excited to get into that, into the actual game itself, just with the political things. You know, they did a live stream yesterday, which was pretty awesome, talking about the end. All right, anyway, character creation. Let's see what we got here. Let's roll through some of these presets. Yeah, I like the way they all look pretty unique. Got some good stuff going on, a nice mix. So it looks like you can pretty much make anything that you want to. That is pretty awesome. All right, we got height. Let's pick a random generic dude. Hello, random generic dude. How tall can you get? Oh, that's pretty damn tall. All right. Play some professional sports. Or you are a jockey. That's a good mix there. Arm thickness. Let's see what we got. A little bit of rotation. Tackle attire. What kind of attire do we have? Ah. Underwear or clothes? I thought maybe we would get a preview of the armor. I was wrong. I was dreaming. All right, what can we do with the arms? Nice. Monstrous. Marvel. Okay. And then we can go with CW. TV. Any international viewers? CW is a channel. Station. Whatever they call themselves nowadays. That does like pop TV shows and culture. All right, we'll go with normal. What about leg thickness? What do we got here? Oh, we're definitely gonna toggle the attire off. Let's see what we got for fat chunky. Little chunky monkey. Nice. My man needs a sandwich. No way you're traversing the desert in that. You will get stomped. Bam. All right. That's an interesting leg thickness and arm thickness. Where does that come into play? Who plays around with that? Okay. All right. Interesting choices. What about the chest? What do we got here? Okay. Little pecs and boobies. All right. Skin tone. Got the whole gambit. Okay. I don't even know what this word is. Vitiligo. What is that? It's a little bit too far with the zoom. I don't see any change. What is vitiligo? Let's turn it up all the way. Maybe something on the back? I have no idea what this is. Alright, I will have to look that up later. Freckles. Okay, well, we don't know what freckles are, right? Voices. I like the way they just skip the entire discussion around body type or sex or male and female. They just have, it's a voice, and then you just pick your standard starting body and go from there. What a beautiful way just to avoid that discussion at all. I'm gonna go with this one. All right, let's take a look at the head. Oh, you are a little freckly. I might want to go back. Take a look at that. Okay, okay. Well, you can definitely make some different memes out of this. That is pretty cool. Age. Okay, there is a difference, but it doesn't seem very discernible. Does it affect the body? No. Creating memes or famous stars, and that's fantastic. I, however, am not that skilled. I just can't do it. But I do love that they have all this stuff in there. I think maybe I'm just a little impatient as well. Eye color. Nice, nice. I don't know how often we'll be looking into each other's eyes in these games, but I do like the idea of creating the character. Where's the blue and the blue? We're gonna go with light brown. Medium brown. I'm gonna go with medium brown. I think that's what my eyes are. Okay. Sclerotin. Ah, okay. That's a little creepy. Yeah, we're gonna go boring generic. Eye details. All right, again, lots of good stuff to change. Nose details, mouth details, redness, skin dark circles. Why would you want skin dark circles? I guess if you want to look like a meth, you're tired. Oh, meth addict. Just taking care of stuff all day? All right, what do we got? Hairstyles. Now we're into it. Boom, boom. My future. No! I think sadly that's kind of what my hair looks like now. No, not a big fan of the shaved heads. That's what I think I look like now, but it's more like this, which is sad. Sad. Really would like to look like that. Just tousled, get out of bed. Oh, very beautiful. Again here, I like what they've done to avoid that whole male-female body type 1-2 discussion, avoiding it completely, just saying, hey, here's all your those curls. All right, you know what, I'm gonna go with this. This guy's had a tough life. We were a prisoner, right? Okay, well, he looks totally different with that haircut. Like, when we first were making him, I'm thinking, holy sugar smacks, this guy could be an Irish roof worker. But now look at him with his hair. He just looks entirely different. Oh, actually, doing that color kind of brings it back a little bit. Okay. Let's give it a little bit of white. Boom. Eyebrow style. Really? Oh, too close, dude. Don't look me in the eyes like that. Makes me uncomfortable. I do not like it. Why are your eyebrows different color? There we go. Okay. Alright. It's not too serious. It's not a real character. I'm just going to go through the rest of the options. See what is in there. Okay. More of those details. Beard style. Alright. Oh, is that this Jason Statham going on right there with that beard style? This one comes with a badge. Guarantee it. This one comes with a bad book of philosophy. I don't even know what that one comes with. Maybe a comb so you can eat. Oh, that one comes with a rapier. Absolutely. This one comes with an alibi. And there's lots of different mustaches. I didn't realize there were so many different types. Oh, this one comes with a strong European accent. English accent, most likely. Or Scottish. This one will come with a nice Asian, generic Asian accent. And of course the beard color. We want to pretend it has some of its youth. Again, you got all these strange colors. Maybe just a little bit of your youth there, sir. All right, what else we got? Face tattoos. Oh, this is the cool stuff. Like some of these different symbols. I like the way that they made this look. Some of the other games, you know, they have face tattoos, but they don't, they look crappy. They look over exaggerated instead of like, oh, I can see this as part of the world that this person would have. And I kind of like, I feel like when I look at these, except for, you know, like, well, even those I can see placed, you know, based on the world, but I don't feel they're over exaggerated. Like I feel that they accentuate the character. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Let me know if I'm just talking shit or if that makes sense. Okay, I like this one. I'm just gonna stick with this one. Body style. Okay, okay. All right. Alternative rock band tattoo. All right, what do we got here? Is that just, okay, I had to populate. All right. That's the I'm a vegan tattoo. Where are these spots over here? Just spots? All right. That is, I'm going to be an MMA warrior tattoo. Why is this one the only body one? Can you move it around? Age. All right, let's throw something on there. I want to see what this age looks like. I wonder why it's taking a minute or two for that fidelity to kick in. Not look that struggling. Oh, is it because of the zoom maybe? I gotta zoom in and out. Go ahead and reset that fidelity on the tattoo. All right, let's see what this age thing does with that. Okay, just makes the ink wear out. Head scars. Who doesn't love some good head scars on your character? Boom. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the eye scar on my survival characters. I don't know why, but I just like the idea of, you know, they have survived. I imagine tangling with a tiger or some kind of wild beast. But knowing survival games, it was probably just a fucking chicken on the beach that left that scar and gave my character that character, as it were. These scars are a little light. These are all healed scars. They're not real scars. No one can tell that I've been through the crank, been through the grind. Maybe the death will help out. And age it. They're really good healed scars. No fresh pink. No dark edges. All right, some good choices and styles. Eye makeup. What do we got? Whoa, hello. The 80s have called. Boom. To the goth clubs we go to dance like a dead tree waving in the wind to some synth. Bringing back memories. Right down memory lane. Hopefully I'm the only one with those memories. Okay, All right. Walk like an Egyptian. What do we got here? Boom. OnlyFans. I don't know what those 3 dots are. This confused mime. Okay. That's just too much, I think. Absolutely too much. And also is way too much. How much work? This is your whole day. You can't do this in a survival game. It's going to take you 5 hours. Confused? Maybe sad? Oh, we can change the color. Noise. Let's go with a little bit of red. Strength, eyeliner color. Okay. Lipstick style. Ah, okay. This is what I was talking about earlier. So when I was talking about the melange, which is the spice, users of the spice, mostly mentats, because it helps them with their computation abilities. Mentat in the world of Dune are kind of like, they're humans that are trained to be computers. So calculations, analysis, planning, things like that. They're not like a project manager, but they're extremely good at it, almost like human AI. And they also go through a special kind of conditioning that does not allow them to betray who they're working for, betray their master or the house that they're working for. But anyway, back to the melange. The coloring, because they use the spice to augment their abilities and their training, their lips get stained with the color of the spice. And that is, anyway, back to fabulous lipsticks. What do we have? Some strange striping. Look at that one. That one just looks peppered. I don't like this reverse one at all. This one just, it makes me angry. Like if I saw a character with this, I just have to take him out. I don't know. Is that natural? Is that unnatural? Should I see a doctor about that? Okay. Oh, this looks like I think like for me, this looks more like a natural intake of the spice kind of thing. We're gonna go with that one. Bam. Ooh, change the colors. You know what? I think I'm gonna keep the default. I like that. Strength, lip gloss, metallic. Oh, that's pretty neat. Okay. It's not for this guy. It's not for Joe. All right, Joe. Yes. Back to the character creator role-playing bit.
Have they told you what I am?
No. Let's see if they explain it before I explain it.
Then I will sift your words for lies. Let's begin.
So the Reverend Mother is the head of the Bene Gesserits. The Bene Gesserit, again, are like psychic assassin courtesans all throughout the Empire, scheming their schemes. The whole thing with Dune is all of these different groups, whether it's political or economical or assassins, they all have plans within plans within plans, and that's the entire plot of Dune. She's pretty powerful, obviously, and is pulling us from prison. Let's find out why.
Where were you born?
Okay. So this is these are some of the different worlds. Caladan is Atreides. These are, typically the good, honorable guys in the world of Dune, especially in the movies. Gadi Prime. These are their arch nemesis, so to speak, the house that the Atreides are always fighting against, the Harkonnens. Okay, so let me take a look here. So it tells you a little bit about the world, gives you a dialogue trait. I'm assuming that has to do with the conversation, will allow you to have certain options available if there's deception available, and a unique emote, Harkonnen curse. What is that? Is that like the Italian kind of thing? That would be pretty cool. Chusak. All right, rich and verdant agri-world of rolling hills and river-fed valleys. Music planet. Your unique emote is musician's pose. Oh, I wonder if this is because one of Paul's instructors is kind of like a warrior bard, a poet, musician. How can I forget his name? He's so popular. I think Jason Momoa played him. No, Jason Momoa played the other one. Anyway, I had to circle back to that before I look like an idiot. But that's pretty cool that they threw that in as one of the worlds. What is this one? This is Kaitan. Political. Elegant bow. Oh, bow. Elegant bow. I'm assuming that's supposed to be. I don't know why they show a picture of a bow, though. That throws me off. Is it an actual bow? Or is it like you put on an electric bow tie? What kind of emote is that? Political. Oh, that sounds like a dialogue trait that'll be come in handy in the world of Dune. Alright, and then this world, I don't know how to pronounce. Ix. Technologist. Interesting. And Forbidden Secret. That sounds like a cool emote. And this is a forbidding ice world of mountain, tundra, and forest. Okay. Alright, who am I going to pick? I don't think it's going to matter too much. You definitely don't look like a Hart Conan dude, the way we threw you out. You don't look too political either. Definitely not a technologist. We're going to go with...
A music world.
Jusak.
A grand center of the arts.
Indeed it is, Reverend Mother. Thank you for acknowledging.
The Order of the Imperium is rooted in the Farfreluches. A place for every man, and every man in his place. Where is your place?
Okay. So this looks like it could double for those that want to roleplay. You know, what kind of character I am, what is my background. As well as give you a different dialogue trait. So bondsman. Okay. They are the citizens of the world. Nobility. These, of course, will be the rulers. And a peon. What none of us want to be, but many of us are the peons. All right. Yeah, let's go with peon.
You've risen above your station. Most peons go their entire lives without seeing the inside of a starship.
They call me lucky, lady. They call me lucky.
You had a mentor in your youth, trained by one of the schools. Who was your mentor?
Let's find out. Okay. Got a sword master. What are these? Oh, these look like they're the classes. So your mentor would be your class. Okay, is this probably your starting class? Okay, so this will give you a starting ability and training in that class. Well, I should probably mention something here since I'm a dude, and there's going to be other males that will study the Bene Gesserit. So the Bene Gesserit are all female order. I didn't bring that up before. I missed that small, absolutely huge detail about them. I don't know if they're going to explain this in the lore. I was reading on some online chat that there have been people, men, who have been trained in the ways of the Bene Gesserit. But just with my light memory, I can't remember anyone except for Paul Atreides who was trained in the ways of the Bene Gesserits. So I don't know if this is something they're going to explain in the lore. I don't know how game-breaking that is. I don't think it's game-breaking at all. You got to have the classes, but I don't know how lore-breaking that will be to some people. Breaking their minds with that framework that they know in Dune and going outside of it. But I do like this idea of having their powers. I always envied Paul Atreides because of the powers. He had the Bene Gesserit training. You got to read the books. He was trained as a Mentat. He was trained as a Bene Gesserit, and just naturally had and literally generations and generations of breeding came to a point. It's so well done. Read the damn book, please, and tell me you like it, or tell me you don't like it. Or tell me you're not going to read it because you don't know words, and that's okay. Mentat, these are guys I was telling you about that are basically trained, from a very young age to be human supercomputers for analyzation, planning, getting things like that. Recon and strategy, offense and demolition. Okay, troopers. Boom, warrior class. Give them a gun, let them go. I think we're going to go with Swordmaster for this guy.
From the failed house of Ginaz, I assume. What a waste that whole affair was.
Wow, assumed I was from a fat house, lady. Just because I was a prisoner and you pulled me out of the dark? Or is it my hair? Is that what it is?
The test is almost complete. Have you spoken truth?
What happens if I say recant? Do I
Where
get
were
to
you
choose again?
born?
Ah, start you over again? I should have known that. Yeah, we'll go with
A
the same.
music world. A grand center of the arts.
I'm glad she pretends like we're not doing this for the
The
second
Order
time.
of the Imperium is rooted in the
absolutely,
Far
Boogie-tron.
Lucius.
Absolutely.
A place for every man, and every man in his place.
I am going to be a
You've
peon.
risen above your station. Most peons go their entire lives without seeing the inside of a starship.
Okay.
You
all
had
right.
a mentor in your youth, trained by one of the schools. Who was your mentor?
Okay, I will go ahead with the Fallen Gana School.
From the failed house of Ginaz, I assume. What a waste that whole affair was.
All right.
The test is almost complete. Have you spoken truth?
I have. Let's see what happens.
Come here. Kneel.
So she just compelled me with the Bene Gesserit power.
Put your
Basically
hand
pulled
in the
me
box.
to my knees.
I hold at your neck the Gom
Gom
Jabbar,
Jabbar.
the high-handed enemy. Don't pull away or you will die. Great plots are afoot in the Imperium, and the currents of intrigue run deeply. Arrakis is the key, and the Fremen are missing. You will go to Arrakis as our agent, prisoner. You have one task. Find the Fremen. Wake the sleeper.
What is that?
Everything depends on this. Do you understand?
Don't shake your head, dude. So the Gom Jabbar is a highly poisonous weapon, mostly used by assassins, such as the Bene Gesserits. Oh, it hasn't come out yet, Boogie. It's coming out June 10th. There is a open beta next week, June 9th, May 9th. I don't know dates. I'm sorry. I live in another world, another time and space, apparently. But Boogie, there's an open beta May 9th, where you can go ahead and try it out for like the first 10, 20 hours, go through the intro and whatnot. Ah, dude, I am so excited. Like, there's been nothing but this Dune information in my feed. Tons of videos, tons of stuff. They just did a live live stream. One of those content things where they were live sharing information yesterday about Bill.
Withdraw it and die. An animal would gnaw off its own hand to escape the pain. And we can only be served by humans. Find the Fremen. Wake the sleeper. You will know when it is done.
There's a lot of context in those like 3 sentences she just said. Okay, thank you. So when she was talking about animals, we can only be served by humans. This isn't to say that she's saying like animals like dogs, cats, bears, rats, things like that. The way that the people in power, especially the Bene Gesserits and the Spacing Guild, look at humanity is that you have 2 types. You have humans who are thinking. These are the ones that are plotting, working together, basically doing a lot of the things that we consider humans to do. Political, economical, military, things like that. And then the animals, the animal part of humanity, these are the folks that they consider are the ones that are just going through their lives, just day to day, not really thinking about the future, not working towards a legacy or something like that. So when the Bene Gesserit does that test, what they're really testing for is not so much, your mental abilities or things like that. They're testing, are you thinking as a human about different things, or are you thinking yourself to live as an animal, just going through the motions, eating, sleeping, shitting, things like that. So that's important context. Again, read the novels. They're really awesome. At least the first one, you'll have plenty of time before the game comes out. You can read all of them. It's really great story. Now, they didn't really go into the box and why that's important. You know, it seemed like very important. They played a lot of importance right there on it. The reason the box is important is because it's your perception of pain and when and what you will tolerate. What is your willpower? So they're testing that as well, because animals don't have a lot of willpower. If something hurts, they're instantly going to pull it out. Whereas if you're human, you're going to fight that instinct. You are going to try to survive. And that's what they're looking for. Oh, I absolutely did, Boogie. I couldn't wait. Wake the sleeper. Get your free little knife. Boom. Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for me to check this out. I was pretty excited to see what this was after all of my feeds have been just bombarded with this. I think I'm going to look into doing some more stuff with this game, see what I can get a hold of. All right. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining.